All right, welcome everybody. Welcome Ellerin and Sheep to the finals of Division C. Congratulations for making it here.
Thank you, sir.
I have the coin here. As always, it is a state quarter, and today we have the lovely state of Vermont. There looks like a guy who's carrying some water buckets with some trees in the background, and it says freedom and unity on it. So
I actually need to interrupt you for a second there because they're actually maple buckets.
they
for
are maple
syrup.
buckets. Oh,
There you go.
fantastic. Dropping the knowledge bombs. I like it.
I would have never done that.
All right, well, for that, Ellerin, why don't you go ahead and call this coin toss?
All right, Tails.
You want the maples, but it is not. It is not. So Sheep wins the coin toss. Sheep, what map would you like to ban first?
Dragonshire, please.
Dragonshire, okay. All right, Ellerin, what map would you like to ban?
Praxis.
Braxis Holdout. All right. Sheep, you're allowed to pick the map or your choice of having first pick.
We are going to take first pick.
Okay. And Ellerin, it is your choice for the map.
Okay, we're gonna play on Sky.
Alrighty. Well, I'll go ahead and get that all set up. Good luck to both of you. Have a great
Thank you.
series.
Good luck, Al.
Thank you. Good luck.
I'll be messaging the people after the game to figure out the next choice. So,
All right, gents.
cool. Good luck, fun.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, Roy.
All right.
Stop chat back up in the channel.
Absolutely. And to the observers we go.
I am not in your lobby.
Yep. Where's Ellerin?
There we go. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Oh, everybody's coming in on the wrong team. That's alright. Which one have I messed up?
Let's see.
I
so
picked
we're
the
just
wrong map.
Missing... Nice.
I picked Hanamura because I'm really, really good at this. It's not even on the same page as Sky Temple.
Good job.
Truly, truly genius. Sheep Food banned Dragonshire, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Cool.
For some reason, I'm not in the lobby with you.
Strange.
It doesn't show me in the lobby. There we go.
Alright, let's get these teams switched. Alright, you in?
I am in.
Cool. For some reason, my Overlays are being a little weird, but that's okay.
Alright, so we've got Misplaced Ults on the right-hand side and Misfit Island on the left, correct?
Misplaced ult should be on the left. Do I need to switch everybody? Yeah, I do. Cool. We have Misplaced on the left. Yep.
Alright, I am good to go.
All right, let's get this going. All right, everybody. How's today going? It is final Sunday here for us at Nexus Gaming Series, and I am excited. And joining me today for this very exciting first final series, it is Rory. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. This is an insane matchup. Both these teams, after weeks and weeks of scrimming each other, after weeks and weeks of playing against each other, and in spite of each other, we have come to this Division C finals. And on a day that I'm happy I skipped church today, to be honest. Otherwise, we'd have been missing this.
Absolutely. We have the Misplaced Ults, the #1 seed, against Misfit Island, the #3 seed. This will be a best-of-5 series, a little bit different than the other series. We've had best-of-3 throughout the playoffs and essentially best-of-2s during the season, but this is a full-out best-of-5 series here. So I can't wait to see what kind of all sorts of strategies have to be broken out for this series.
Exactly. In this kind of setup, the map bans really, really matter because with earlier in the series, earlier in the league, you were able to ban a map that you just really don't like, and there's a chance you ended up not playing maps that you don't like later on anyway, just because they're not common. This particular series, we're going to see, I mean, really the limitations of these players' hero pools, their map pools, and really going to get to see how they are going to approach every game in a very unique way. I don't think any of these teams have had this kind of a war of attrition as of yet, and I'm excited to see how they play out. And already, I mean, pretty impactful bans.
Yep, absolutely. Covering the coin toss really quick, as you heard, Misplaced Ults banned out Dragonshire, Misfit Island banned out Braxis Holdout, so we will not see either of those throughout this entire series. And Misplaced Ults opted for first pick, so Misfit Island chose the map of Sky Temple. And let's run right through this draft really quickly. We've got Anubrak and Dahaka band, very standard bands so far. Stukov picked up by Misplaced Ults. That'll be DB Smiley playing his signature supports. And over on the side of Misfit Island, we have a Greymane and Arthas, two more really powerful and standard pickups.
I like this. Smiley is so strong on Stukov. He knows how to position well. That lurking arm, he's able to put into key choke points and separate portions of the map from the other team. And Misfit Island really requires strong positioning to succeed in their team fights, which is where they really thrive. And Arthas and Greymane allow them to do that. The only problem for Misplaced Ults at this point is they've taken away Greymane almost more than they've picked it. because Sheep is probably one of the best Greymane players in Division C, if not the best in Division C. Such an impactful hero for him. And so I'm excited to see what kind of change-up they can make.
Looks like we have a Muradin and a Falstad picked up for Misplaced Ults. So Misplaced will pick up that key global, be able to work on that top lane and fly around as necessary, along with a really just sturdy tank in Muradin. Just good solid pickups there. Doesn't show too much in any specialty of what they want to do yet, but just good generalist pickups.
I like the Falstad pickup as well. Sky Temple is such a high impact map for Falstad, with the not only the ability to flank, but it's got a lot of really good open lanes for gusts if you want to get aggressive, and it really allows you to pick your engagements that you want. And that's what Falstad's really good at doing, is enabling his team to pick the engagements they want. Not only that, but again, that's almost a respect pick as well as a denial, because on the other side in Misfit Island, we have Cold Damn, who is, well, as his name implies, cold and a damn good player on Falstad. So, I mean, you're really digging at the heels here of Misfit Island by picking Falstad.
I heard a little chuckle at the Kel'Thas ban. I think we had some banter early on about that.
Yes.
Yeah, Termaka plays a really solid any mage role, but especially Kel'Thas. He's been working real hard all season on that. So there's definitely respect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Linkin Park on the Muradin, and the combination of Muradin and KT, the stuns that you're able to get out, and then Stukov zoning everybody away, and then that pour on of damage from Falstad when he gets his level 7 talent, the Boomerang, and it's so much damage that you're able to pile on. That CC train can really be detrimental to an Arthas or a Greymane, and a Brightwing ban, so taking out the rest of the globals, save for those pseudo-globals, such as Abathur or Illidan.
Yeah, you also have Genji, who functions as a pseudo-global with fast rotations, but the true globals, who have global in their base kit, are gone. That could work well for Misplaced Ults tactics. Zeratul could be a good counter pick against that kind of thing, but instead we see the strong combination of Ariel and Vala.
I like the choices. Vala and Ariel, just a dynamic duo all through this last regular season, and it's really just kind of a staple almost now. You know, it takes me back to those days of Murden Tyrande or Diablo Tyrande, where you had those patented combos, and I like the choice. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of a follow-up pseudo support as well. I'd love to see a Zarya for their comp, because it gives them a little bit of more frontline, some more tankiness with their shields, and then a decent amount of damage as well.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Other mobility options for the mobility crippled Arthas and Greymane could also be pretty good, like a Tyrael. I think that could
absolutely
round out really well, as my Tyrael itches start tingling already. We see Gul'dan picked up for Misplaced Ults along with ETC. Good last pick. I like it.
Absolutely. With the amount of CC that Misfit Island is really lacking at this point, they don't have a lot to interrupt. You know, they've got a whip, and then they've got Vala's Reign of Vengeance, and so this last pick, I think, would have to be something really to displace. I think at this point, now that you've mentioned it, Tyrael is probably the best option, because you get a really, really strong ability to interrupt. You get some good zoning with that Holy Ground. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Holy Ground, if you put it in the correct position, you're able to use it almost like a force wall, pushing ETC back so that you can almost pseudo cleanse people out of that mosh pit. So very strong choices here. And I mean, if they end up going with Stage Dive, that's 2 globals as well. So there's so much versatility with this ETC pick. So I'm excited to see how they run them.
Yeah, ETC works so well as a kind of a last or near last pick. Coldam mentioning that it's like they've played each other before. These guys have played so much together. Uther is a final pickup. I believe my first cast in Nexus Gaming Series was actually a preseason scrim between these two teams, so it's almost come full circle. It's really exciting to see these two teams come out and make it to the finals. But we will see how the first game of the finals starts out. As soon as this game gets underway, stay with us. We'll be back right after the load.
And welcome back in on map number 1, Sky Temple. This is the very first map of Best of 5 series between Misplaced Ults and Misfit Island, and we are underway. In the blue trunks, we have Sheep Fu playing Falstad, Sermaka on those mages as always, and that's Gul'dan. Lincoln Park, as predicted on the Muradin. JTR playing ETC, and DB Smiley on his signature Stukov.
And over here on the right side of the map, in red, we have Misfit Island, the team of people who could not find a team to start the season, and now here they are in the finals. We have Gul'dan on Vala, G Prime on Arthas, LRN on Ariel, J-Show on Uther, and Ashiteru on Greymane.
Predictions for this matchup. I mean, it's a best of 5. This is going the distance, I'm sure, but what are your predictions?
Oh gosh, I think these teams both have just been fantastic. I've seen so many games go both ways for these teams, and I think it's going to just come down to really impactful players making 1-2 big plays for their team and winning some really key moments, and I'm excited to see who that will be.
Absolutely. A little side note here. The side of Misplaced Ults has picked up all quest talents to start their first tier, so I think it's the first time I've ever seen it. These are definitely the heroes to do it with.
Absolutely, that's pretty neat. We'll keep progress on that here in the bottom center with the talents overlay. But we see a 1-2-2 kind of lane arrangement out for both of these teams. So lots of action will be across the map, but it's mainly just a safe soaking style. No real rotations right now seem to be occurring.
Yeah, these teams definitely picked up a couple of comps that are really strong at team fighting around the temples, and I don't know if that was by design, but ultimately it's going to be a pretty tough battle of just who's able to get better positioning and ultimately secure those earlier kills.
Yep, speaking of earlier kills, JTR and Shermaka doing a little bit of work down here in the bottom lane. Lincoln Park jumps in with the Stormbolt, gets Ashiteru a little bit low, but overall he will be able to escape. And that seemed to be our first scuffle of the game with no bloodshed drawn.
Yeah, I have to give the little bit of an advantage there over to the side of Misfit Island. They didn't have any deaths go their way, and ultimately they were able to get a lot of shots off of this mid-temple. In the meantime, though, we've got Shifu on Falstad all the way up in the top lane, just hammering away those shots, and with a few of the shots stolen in the mid-temple, a little bit more advantage going to the side of Misplaced Ults early game.
Yeah, however, Misplaced Ults really forced off the button by this 5v4 engagement. The sustain of Misfit Island with Uther and Ariel is going to be absolutely brutal to deal with. DB Smiley will have to do a spectacular job healing up his team to be able to sustain against those two strong heroes.
Absolutely, and it's going to really come down to the CC train as well. With so much CC on the side of Misplaced Ults, they need to be able to get those early pickoffs while both Ariel and Uther are otherwise preoccupied, just trying to not lose control of their characters.
Indeed, looks like temple damage was split almost perfectly even, as the last shots were taken by Misfit Island from that top temple. So looks like we have, as expected, a nice even match starting out.
Yeah, a little bit of an XP lead going over to the side of Misfit Island as they were able to rotate down to the bottom lane a little bit quicker. That's the unfortunate part of picking that top tower to focus your attention on, is you really just don't have a whole lot of rotational advantage. That mid-temple is definitely a very strong one in the early game. And we've got Ashiteru just going back and getting some Siege Giants. It's a perfect time to do so, as that second temple will be spawning here in just a couple minutes.
Indeed, Gul'dan took a ton of damage in the middle lane, got down to about 100 health, but was able to survive. Close call there. So, still safe play from all the teams. XP gap is closing here for Misplaced Ults as both teams try and make that level 7 before this temple phase starts up.
And just a quick progress report on the quest talents. We have Sermaka at 17 on that Echo Corruption, Gathering Storms at about 8 for Sheep Fu, Progrox at 5, and then we've got Muradin already up to 8 stacks on that Perfect Storm. So pretty strong start, and as soon as those quests are completed, this team is going to be having a ton of damage to put out. And I'm excited to see that combination between Lincoln Park and JTR once they're able to get in that front line.
Indeed. Bruiser camp seem to be getting picked up for both teams. Misfit Island picking theirs up a little bit sooner, as they did with the siege camp as well. So those will be pressuring in the top lane as the bottom temple spawns.
Ooh, we have Wizened Duelist picked up by Eshiteru on the Grey Main. That is a little bit of a difference in the norm here. Is normally the cocktail build is fully secured at 7, and that's where you start the quest to really pour that damage on. But with Wizened Duelist looking to get a lot more out of those pre-pickups, and I mean that is quite a bit more damage when you get it stacked up. So I'm excited to see how they go about positioning to really enable him to not only stay alive but to get those stacks up quickly.
Yeah, with double support, it's a lot easier to keep them alive, and as long as they're able to get the picks they need, they'll be able to snowball that lead to a great victory. But Kuldam takes a lot of damage from a great slide from JTR. Now he's in a bit of trouble as G Prime flanks around the back. Ellerin and Kuldam very low along with Sheetfu. First kill of the game. Sheetfu goes down to 5 health and lives. Aishiteru has to bail out, but Lincoln Park goes down as the first kill of the game.
And there we go, one more stack of Wizened Duelist, and already a lot of the shots going over the way of Misfit Island, and I like this with the double support. You get so much more early game potential, and they're really showing the strength of that Uther Ariel, which is such a threatening combination when you have hyper carries like Greymane and Vala. Now, Arthas is a little bit less of a survivable tank, but I mean, if you're giving him this early game advantage, when he picks up that Army of the Dead at 10, you ain't gonna kill him. That's just the fact of the matter is you got too much on your side. You got Aegis, you've got Army, you've got that Divine Shield. It's just you're not gonna kill him. So he becomes probably the most survivable tank in the game at that point.
Indeed. And speaking of those level 10 talents, we do have 10 picked up for Misfit Island. We have Crystal Aegis, Army of the Dead, as expected. Then we have Cursed Bullet, Rain of Vengeance, and Divine Shield. So all your calls were correct there, Rory. Nice picks.
Just a little bit of know-how. I think I've seen these teams play once or twice.
Once or twice. Just once or twice.
They collapse into the mid lane, and a lot of damage done onto Aishiteru, but he's got his ults available, and he's got all of his ability to disengage as well as a well tap, and it's not going to net a kill. So still, kill feed is 1-0 at this point, and Kuldam missing a Q there in the mid lane, just poking him out and saying, hey, Lincoln Park, this isn't your place. Just go home.
Yep, he uninvited himself from that bush party. Looks like Misplaced Ults chose to go more into a 4-1 style for a moment, try and get some rotational pickoffs. Instead, we see Misfit Island looking to invade the siege camp of Misplaced Ults. However, this is going to be a tough fight as Misplaced Ults jumps in with Falstad. Here come the Ults as well picked up, and Greymane taken out with Wizened Duelist reset.
That was a great mosh. It allowed for just enough time for Aishiteru to hit 0 on his health bar, and I mean that was just huge from Sheetfu being able to get in position and get that nice boomerang down onto Aishiteru as well to follow up the damage from Surmaka. So a really nice solid solitary pick off of Aishiteru.
Indeed, and great communication there. Calling for the Falstad to fly down at just the right time. Did not come in late, as we often see with some other teams. It was fantastically on point, showed up just as the engagement happened, and helped secure that kill. So great job there.
I mean, we've got a 3v4 in the bottom lane as JTR, Surmaka, and DB Smiley are content to just kind of poke it out. Kuldam, super low on mana, so he's not going to be able to be as effective as a battery for Ellerin as possible, but this is a very important temple phase. That bottom temple, essentially whoever gets that or wins this team fight, not only gets that bottom temple, but also gets that boss. So, I mean, a lot of damage being done on a Kuldam and G Prime as well, and this is going to be the shield popped, a great Horrify coming down, and G Prime's going to get collapsed upon, but not quite enough damage to be able to secure him. That being said, though, Kuldam, just a huge blow up. Sheetfu always seeming to be in the right position to enable Surmaka to get that damage out and just finish it up for him.
That Horrify was a beauty. 3 heroes from Misfit Island got forced down towards the temple, and only Kuldam was isolated up towards the top and towards the rest of Misplaced Ult's team. Really allowed them to secure that kill and change that fight the way they needed it to.
Absolutely, and Lincoln Park's getting collapsed upon in the top lane as well. Ashiteru's going to use his Cursed Bullet to be able to zone him off of that mid-temple. And with DB Smiley now clearing up that bottom temple, we're going to have a full invade here, it looks like. Still about half of the shots left on that mid temp as well. So I don't think that team fight went quite well enough to secure both the boss and the bottom temple, but it looks like they're ballsy enough to try.
Let's see that 13-13 for both teams. Now even talent tiers. It looks like Misfit Island is smelling it. But will they get here in time? Boss is down to about 25% health. Here it comes. Ellerin and Kuldam in here a little bit early on the gust. J-Show goes in. Boss is still up for grabs. We'll have to see. Mosh onto the button. Secures it for Misplaced Ults. See how the kills go. This will be a large part of the effectiveness of this boss. D-Shield goes down onto Ashiteru. Gul'dan finishes Echoed Corruption. Good dive from JTR, but the sustain of Misfit Island is nuts.
Absolutely. That was that's Ariel Uther for you. I mean, that was just huge. That being said, though, props to Smiley. That was just, like, you could not have done it any better there, buddy. That was perfect healing by Stukov, just attempting to sustain there. And even then, he's only at half mana. So just knowing when cooldowns were coming up, knowing when everybody was going to be using their defensives and using everything they had to ultimately keep themselves alive more than anything. And now with Prog Rock finished, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, I think he made great use out of that targeted excision talent on level 7, where if he detonates with one enemy-weighted pustule, the cooldown of his healing is reset to 5 seconds, which is fantastic. Here comes an invade by Misplaced Ults onto the Bruiser camp. Might cost Termaka his life as Kuldam's taking aim at him, and there he goes. G-Prime in a lot of trouble, but there comes the support. JTR gets knocked out, and it looks like these Bruisers didn't quite work out. Flailing Swipe able to do most of the disengage. Ooh, not quite enough though, as Aishiteru dives in and kills Stukov there. DB Smiley going down.
Yeah, it was a massive amount of damage as well, and a good collapse by Misfit Island after clearing up that boss. Yeah, they lose the Bruiser camp, but I mean, it's going to get cleared up. There's not even any ammo that's going to be drained off that top wall, so I think that was truly worth.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely worth for Misfit Island. Misplaced Ults just a little bit overextended, didn't quite finish it in time. That Bruiser button is brutal because you can get funneled in so easily to a really high area of effect damage zone.
Yeah, and especially because at 13, we did have G Prime pick up that shattered armor, so that 15 armor reduction is just, it's so crazy to play against, especially when you get a really good root like G Prime did there. I mean, he landed, I think it was a 3-man root.
Yeah, that's again, that button funneling is just brutal. Let's take, while we have a bit of a moment of a temple split, to check on those quest talents that we started at. Gathering Storm at 26, Echoed Corruption is finished, as well as Prog Rock. Fetid Touch, almost complete there, needs just 4 more heroes hit. And Perfect Storm will continue stacking. 24 is quite good progress, as well as for Arthas, that level 1 Frost Presence, almost complete for him as well.
Yeah, and just as a little side note, Wizened Duelist is at 3 stacks, so Greymane's going to start chunking everybody, especially because Alpha Killer was just picked up by Aishiteru, so it's 3% extra damage done 3% of the hero's health pool done as extra damage to Worgen form auto attacks, and so that mixed with Wizened Duelist is just going to be an insane amount of damage that is going to be done to Linkin Park and JTR. So they definitely need to pick their engagements appropriately, utilize their ults, because that's going to be how they win these team fights.
Indeed. Now with both teams at level 16, we'll see if any moves want to be made. It looks like teams are just posturing up a little bit on the side of Misplaced Ults. Just a little under a 1-level advantage here for Misfit Island, but that is it right now. That can change very quickly. Good bush check by Linkin Park.
In about a minute until the boss comes up, and even less until the next set of temples comes up, which I believe is a solitary temple.
Oh,
so it's definitely
G-Prime.
going to force a team fight.
Oh, G-Prime is going to be able to sustain through all of that bush party, and Misplaced Ults is in a ton of trouble. ETC taken out in the top lane. Oh, and Murden goes down too, as Aegis on G-Prime was able to keep him alive. Great gust by Sheepfu, able to force a disengage before it gets too ugly. But great pickups there by Misfit Island.
Absolutely. That was just, I mean, that's again the power of RL Uther. Aegis and D Shield both being popped is able to keep all of that burst damage coming out of Surmaka and Shifu just under wraps. And the only ult that wasn't burned throughout that entire engagement was uh, the Mosh Pit. So look for Mosh Pit to try to make a stand here as we now have ETC and Murden both coming back online. And for about another 20 seconds, there's really nothing defensively that can be done about a solid Mosh Pit.
Indeed. You see the invade on the Bruiser camp. That goes a lot better for Misfit Island than it did for Misplaced Ults just a couple minutes ago. So good pickup there. Going to continue to keep that map pressure up. Guarantee them a couple shots on this now spawning top temple.
And we do have boss up available as well. I think if I am Misplaced Ults, I would just secede the top. You're already going to lose the keep and just go for boss. Boss has already done a lot of work on that bottom wall. Just get that bottom keep and trade out at this point because you need to get 20, so you need to be able to catch up in that XP.
That being said, I think that was exactly what you're going to say. We've got an engagement coming out as Red Team is not quite there to start the fight. They're working on the Bruisers. Here comes JTR and the Mosh Pit. And Vulnerable in the Greymane allows them to go and do a ton of work while still in the Mosh Ring. Great timing there by J-Show. That was really changing the fight. That was really impressive.
Absolutely. It was able to get him just low enough so that when Vala was able to get away and throw down the Rain of Vengeance, at that point, JTR was just deleted. I mean, he was gone at that point. And I like this. I think Misplaced Ults were probably the favorite going into this series, but at this point, Misfit Island are really making a case for themselves, and it's a very strong one at that, as 20s are now picked up for Misfit Island, and they're looking to invade on this siege camp where they are going to find 3 members of Misplaced Ults.
Yep. Didn't quite get there in time for the siege camp, but I think they'll be happy with taking down 2 keeps of Misplaced Ults. Going to keep all that top and middle lane pressure on for the rest of this game.
We do have Army of the Dead coming up in about 10 seconds. We've got Curse Bullet just being used, and now D-Shield's up in about 20 seconds. And with everybody now alive once again for Misplaced Ults, they need to clear everything up, try to get those 20s as quickly as possible. And honestly, I think the way they really win a team fight here is by baiting out a lot of the ults and then using Gust to disengage and then re-engaging off of the back of that with Mosh Pit. I think that's their choice here. That's going to be what's going to win them a team fight.
That absolutely sounds like what they need to do. 20s picked up, and I want to point out the Gilnean Roulette picked up by Greymane reduces cooldown of Curse Bullet by 5 seconds for every hero hit, so could get multiple Curse Bullets off per fight, along with Redemption on Uther, Farflight Quiver on Vala, Death's Advance on Arthas, and no pickup so far yet for Ariel.
Yeah, I think she's holding out for a little bit longer, and it's going to be Shield of Hope, so running that massive shield, but a huge blow up onto JTR. Just a massive amount of damage, and that is that's just a little bit of bad positioning. Coldam taking quite a bit of damage as well, but that Shield of Hope's coming out, and Lincoln Park is having to back off as well, as we have Curse Bullet now coming back up online, and Flail has been used, but there's a Horrify in the wrong direction. Just a little bit of misplacement.
What a bummer there. Termaka trying to go for that big Horrify, but it does not work out there. 4v5 now for Misplaced Ults. Winions start converging on the core. It is going to be tough for them to hold out. Can they do it here? Down level 20 with 4 catapults and 5 heroes on the core. Core is down the shields, but so far not too much health. Have they done it? Have they forced out Misfit Island from this core push?
They have, but that Temple's up, and it's already at 40%, 37%. That's gonna be Temple going over and winning, and Shifu trying to get an interrupt is not gonna be able to do so with this double Temple. That is going to be game number 1, going over to Misfit Island off of the back of a killer Ariel Uther play.
That was truly a fantastic game to watch. Misfit Island executed that comp absolutely beautifully.
They came out swinging, that's for sure.
Indeed. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get set up for game number 2. I hope we're going to see some more exciting games just like that one on the other side of the break. Thanks for sticking around. All right. Welcome back to Game 2 between Misplaced Ults and Misfit Island as part of the Division C Finals here for the Nexus Gaming Series. And what a first game we just had. Rory, tell us about that first game.
Well, I mean, that was just Misfit Island showing their prowess as they've played against Misplaced Ults so often in this league, and with so many scrimmages, they really came out swinging and knew exactly how to put the pressure onto a Stukov comp, being that Smiley's favorite hero is Stukov at the moment. So, I mean, honestly, this was just them coming out saying, hey, we're here to play. We don't want to take this as a 0-3. We want to show that we're able to play with this. We're able to play at this level, and we're not going to let you, as the number 1 seed, be the favorites.
Absolutely. Misplaced Ult's going to come out with that same Anubrak ban from last game. Do not want to play against Anubrak in any scenario, even when it could possibly help them against some kind of Ariel composition. So interesting that they just hate Anubrak, and I feel the sentiment, man. I feel the sentiment there, Sheepfu.
Well, looking back at the semifinals where Misfit Island took it to Azeroth Falcons, I mean, if you remember, Jay Show played Anubrak both of those games and in that 2-0, and I mean, he was just so incredibly dominant on Anubrak. I mean, he ended up getting MVP for that performance, and I'm sure that Misplaced Ults have done a little bit of research and realized, hey, we just don't want to fucking deal with it.
I can imagine. Anubrak is such a strong hero with 2 stuns in that base kit and the ability to cocoon out a target in the middle of a team fight. It's just absolutely insane. But
absolutely,
we have the same draft coming out so far.
If this happens again, then I'm just going to chalk it up to deja vu.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is game 2. My overlays say it's game 2. But,
Doesn't seem like it.
I know. Dahaka banned out and Stukov picked up for DB Smiley.
If it's Greymane and Arthas here, I mean, I'm quitting.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think Arthas will work as well. Greymane, I could see it easy. Arthas is just a little too immobile for this map, though, I feel.
I agree. He, with those bigger areas of combat, and not as many choke points, we're able to get that value as an Arthas. You're just not getting those same benefits, and instead going to be the double global coming out for Misfit Island.
Wow, Team Global being picked up. That is super interesting. Falstad taken from Misplaced Ults, as well as the Brightwing. I'm excited to see some fight time gameplay. Oh my gosh, it's Zarya, one of my favorite heroes to play in competitive. Fantastic pickups here for both sides. I'm so excited.
And against the Brightwing comp, Brightwing really needs a pseudo support to be able to help her keep her team alive, unless you're going to go with just a really, I guess, heavy engage where you're just trying to get the kills as quickly as possible comp. And so far, Falstad doesn't really fall into that kind of category, in my opinion. He has the capability of bursting, but he really just allows for a good amount of sustained amount of damage and really picking your engagements. So that blow up that they're looking for isn't really going to be had when you've got Zarya and Stukov. Those shields are just going to be doing too much to be able to keep everybody alive. And with Greymane coming in there as that primary damage dealer, I mean, Brightwing and Falstad had better be scared.
Indeed. Brightwing will need that ice block talent at 13 more than likely. Unless Brightwing wants to take the Pixie Dust talent. God, we're playing with the same heroes as last time. Here comes the Kael'thas ban again. The only difference so far from the 14 heroes in last game is the Zarya. So, but they're in different combinations. We've had 2 traitor heroes, one come back from the ban list. I'm excited to see how they play each other's heroes. They know themselves, and they know the other team so very, very well, as they've shown in chat.
Yeah, I'm feeling that at this point, Misplaced Ults are probably going to pick up like a Johanna, something that can poke out with the flashlight and try to get a little bit more zoning capability. Again, the Arthas looking at potentially being banned here. And I mean, that's out of respect because G Prime is so strong on Arthas, but I still don't think that he lends himself well enough to this map. I think that at this point, Misfit Island would probably want something a little bit closer to like a Muradin or, I mean, heck, even Diablo. I think is a better choice than Arthas at this point.
You know, after you pick up 2 globals and you have Pixie Dust on Brightwing, I think Arthas becomes functional again. So I'm perfectly okay with a combination of that and the respect that G Prime just got right there. I think that makes it a fantastic ban overall. So I'll go with
Yeah.
that.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, with the armor reduction that you get out of Arthas, and then having 3 health bars effectively with Aegis, Divine Shield, and Army of the Dead. I mean, you're basically both Arthas and Dahaka at that point. So, you know, definitely a lot of respect coming out for G Prime. So not wanting to deal with it, but it looks like Johanna going to be picked up on the side of Misfit Island instead of where I thought they were going to be on Misplaced Ults, and then Uther once again making a showing.
Oh my goodness. Look at this comp, Rory. Look at this.
I don't have words.
They pick
Viking.
so fast.
They knew what they wanted, man.
Oh my gosh, let's just take this in. We have a Lost Vikings and a Sylvanas being picked up for that 4-man push. Oh, what a comp Misplaced Ults has put together. Let's see if they can execute it. Oh, I'm so ready. And the counter pick from Genji to be able to capitalize on the Vikings. And that was ready. They had it planned, and it just worked out. Oh my god, it's so good.
We got to talk through the loading screen,
Oh,
boss.
so yes. Absolutely.
So here's the deal. Sylvanas gets a lot of value on this map between curses. It makes it so that the curses aren't as necessary. You're able to get a lot more done throughout the general phase. Zarya as a solo tank. Talk to me about that.
That's the hardest part of this composition right now. Solo tank Zarya is hard because there's no CC. Look at your main 4 here for Misplaced Ults. We've got Zarya, Stukov, Sylvanas, and Greymane. No stuns there, but we'll all have to see how it plays out. I will go ahead and talk about Misfit Island, though. Here on the right side of Cursed Hollow, this was their map choice. You'll see what they can bring out here. They brought out the globals with Ellerin on Brightwing, Koldam on that Falstad. Koldam, let's see some good play. J-Show on Uther, G Prime on Johanna, and Aishiteru on Genji.
And in the blue trucks, I gotta start out with Vikings. That's gonna be handled by JTR and DB Smiley again once again on Stukov. Lincoln Park on that Zarya. Sirmaka on Sylvanas instead of a mage like he's normally used to, and Fu on his patented Greymane is Sheep.
Oh goodness, and immediately full split out from Misfit Island to try and catch where Sylvanas was going. Sylvanas decides to go to the bottom lane and cause all sorts of problems, already picking up that first tower. Lincoln Park in a lot of trouble though, going to be taking a ton of damage, gets killed and reset, and Aishiteru is able to escape. And G Prime's able to escape. Already a counter kill by Misfit Island, going to completely cripple this bottom lane push until the resurrection.
Now, I like that choice, but I mean, you got to really think about it like this. They traded a tower for a kill. That's going to be pretty even on XP, and they didn't miss any soak with the Vikings. That's the power here coming in. And at this point, Koldam's got to be safe as well because this wall's about to go down. Tower's already down, and this could be a full push. Genji's going to be able to secure a kill in the mid lane, and that's going to be, I believe that's Eric going down, isn't it?
It was Olaf, the big one.
Oh, Olaf.
Oh my god.
That was a good kill, but Koldam's being forced out of the bottom lane, and again, just nonstop pressure on the bot lane is it's insane.
Yeah. You know, if there's one comp I wouldn't be like super sold to have the Vikings on, it is the comp that Misfit Island has. They have 2 globals. They will have extra leniency in picking up the soak and the ability to gank these Vikings and cause a lot of problems for Misplaced Ults. This is going to take every bit of execution from both teams to be able to win. This is just such a cool match.
You know, I spoke to Sheep prior to today's events and just kind of caught up with him and asked, are they planning on having any sort of an odd comps coming out here? And I mean, this answers my question for sure. And on the bottom lane, Koldam, G Prime, and Eller, and all super low. Aishiteru is going to have to come back and help. And they're going to collapse onto him. And Protect doing a good job. Deflect is definitely a strong talent against the likes of Shifu and Lincoln Park. But I mean, already just a huge amount of value in that bot lane, and we haven't even seen a tribute go up yet.
Oh my goodness, this is working out quite well, although Baylog does get taken out in that top lane. Oh, this could not be better for Misplaced Ults, as the tribute spawns literally next door to where they've been pushing this entire game. Gonna be a tough one for Misfit Island to contest.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them attempt to have this fort completed by the time that they ended up going for the second tribute. Aishiteru, though, taking a ton of damage, is going to have to back away. Good pixie dust coming out from Ellerin to help zone, and JTR going to start channeling with that Olaf. He's going to get collapsed upon, however, and Smiley's just a little bit too low to really get any damage done or any sort of defense going up for JTR's Olaf. But I mean, ultimately, even though the tribute went over to the side of Misfit Island, the XP lead is starting to mount. This is where Lost Vikings really succeed. Abathur on this map is so good at, yeah, you lose the first couple of tributes, but you gain 10s faster, and that's where you really see that that kind of success come in, and where you start to snowball. And Vikings play to that style as well. And so, I mean, this is, I'm so hyped right now. This is crazy.
I know, it's hard to explain how fun this is, as Aishiteru takes a ton of damage from that Feel the Heat full energy Zarya. This is just a tough push. The Zarya actually works so well in the Sylvanas style push comps with Feel the Heat. It's so powerful, such a good sieging talent to take. So it makes sense that if they're going to take a sieging hero, that's what they would pick up.
Absolutely, and already just look at the health bars as well. In comparison, you've got all four on the bot lane minus JTR at almost full health, and then half health for most of Misfit Island. And this bottom four's going to go down. Ellerin's going to be able to get the cap, but again, just a good XP lead, and ultimately the ability to do a lot of that jungling, as well as we've got Bribe having been picked up by the Vikings. So JTR is already securing camps. He's getting some work done, and now boss.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about the decision to not capture the tribute there. Now they're down two tributes, or full tributes to none, and they saw Genji was trying to back, so they know they would have had at least an even fight, 4v4 at the worst, but Falstad was across the map, so I'm not entirely sure why they decided to seed that one entirely, but nonetheless, it has been done, as bosses will be picked up for each team on their own side of the map.
You know what I think Misplaced Ults are trying to do right now?
What are they trying to do?
I think they're trying to just make their win condition that bot lane. Say, screw everything else. We're going to continue to bully this bottom lane. Let the Vikings keep us in the XP lead, which they are. I mean, they're close to 10 already. Almost a full level lead for them as well.
Yeah.
At this point, we got tribute spawning in the top lane as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a very important call for both teams. Who decides to go up to this tribute? Who decides to defend or push? This is a very important call. 10's picked up for Misplaced Ults as the Wailing Arrow comes in. Chermaka in a lot of trouble after that, though. Has no mana left to Haunting Wave out. Just got it off. Aishiteru going down for the Janitor kill. As he gets picked off, Boss going to end up getting this bottom keep. Keep picked up at 6 minutes with a 2-level advantage here for Misplaced Ults.
I gotta say it. I'm sorry, I have to. Monster kill. I mean, this is an insane amount of play coming out from Misplaced Ults. I mean, they lost last map, and they're like, hey, man, we got a plan for Cursed Hollow. We've been practicing it all week, and I'm so excited to see how they try to snowball this, and it looks like they're redirecting their attention to top lane.
Indeed, they've got everything they want out of bottom lane. There's nothing more to be had besides the core, and that might be a bit ambitious, so they're going to go ahead and further their lead with that Sylvanas push and just knock down forts left and right as a group of 4, while the Vikings pick up every other lane. They are executing this absolutely fantastically.
Absolutely. We got 3 minutes left on boss in the bottom lane, about 3 minutes and 20 seconds on top lane, and this wall in the top lane is going to be going down. No sort of return coming out of Misfit Island, and they're just kind of in turtle mode. They've been trying to get their 10s. And we've got JTR being able to back off, and this is going to be a full B call at this point. And I mean, we've got tribute spawning. They're just forfeiting this tribute at this point. Aishitiru is going to actually go back and finally retrieve it, but that's a huge amount of damage lacking on their defense.
Yeah, I'm a little worried though for Misplaced Ults here. They've got Misfit Island just picked up their ultimates. This is going to be a 4v4, and they're not going to have any kind of minion assistance. Baylog gets taken out, not a big deal there, but I'm surprised they decided to stick around quite that long. We'll see. Aishitiru goes in with Dragon Blade. Isn't going to find a whole lot of damage. Does some chip damage. Actually, Lincoln Park in a little bit of trouble. Going to be taken out as he's not headed towards his own fort. DB Smiley in a lot of trouble as well. Uther finishes his quest. But here comes the comeback. I think this is the part where you have to call the comeback. Misfit Island up a couple heroes and up on a curse.
That being said, though, I mean, 13 to 11 in terms of talents, and the top keep is already pretty damaged. Bottom keep's down, and we've got one tribute over to the side of Misplaced Ults. So at this point, all they have to do is really defend, get that XP back. I mean, I think their comp is designed to deal with this as a condition. So, I mean, really at this point, in order for Misfit Island to come back into this map and keep the trend going right now, they need to kind of catapult off of this, get some more map control. Bosses are up.
Rory,
Sorry,
your poor microphone.
Yeah, mic troubles, unfortunately. Got a headset coming in the mail.
Awesome.
But, I mean, this is all about map control at this point.
Indeed it is. As the curse lifts, both teams will head off to their bruiser camps to attempt to get some of that middle lane control. The only lane that Misfit Island is currently ahead of in structures, but that's not the boss lane, and either boss lane, and that's important. Bosses will be coming up in about 30 and 45 seconds, as Ellerin is in a little bit of trouble. A lot of trouble. Gone.
Oh yeah, that's a dead bug. And again, the sieging.
Yeah, every kill is being converted. Oh, great Dragon Blade, actually. Followed by a Divine Storm. Great follow-up there. Aishitiru getting really low. Gonna get taken out. Is the damage enough, though? No follow-up. Gul'dan a little bit late into the fight. Lincoln Park taken out. So that's 2 kills. A little bit, about a level and a half advantage still for Misplaced Ults. And a big bottom wave push, but I think that's the route Misfit Island needs to take to start turning this around.
Absolutely. And Vikings are only going to get stronger with 16s that are right around the corner. That's when you see Vikings really be viable in those team fights. And Dragon Blade, it does get a lot of value in a comp like having Vikings all right there. And, you know, you get able to get a ton of damage. But it's such a long cooldown as being your only real way to be able to deal with the threat of Vikings. So, I mean, Blessed Shield alone is one of those ults that ultimately you have to really kind of perfect how you're going to use it, because that's a lot of little Vikings that can take some of those shots and allow for those bigger heroes to do a lot of damage.
Indeed. That Blessed Shield targeting is going to have to be on point for pretty much any team fight with the Vikings involved. Looks like split bosses again being picked up, but this is only going to favor Misplaced Ults, as this is going directly onto core. And they pick up a second tribute. Really, good luck for them, good fortune. And we'll have to see, can Misfit Island make this defense down the talent tier of 16?
Yeah, and I think that next tribute's going to be spawning defensively up in the top lane for Misfit Island. So really redirecting that attention to the bot lane is only going to be benefiting the Vikings, as they're going to be much closer to that rotation. And I mean, like you said, this boss is going to go take that tower down and then go straight to core. This is all posturing at this point. And Vikings do have their play again up and available in about 20 seconds, so they could be here at the drop of a hat.
Yep, but the hat drops probably after this boss goes down. Good Blessed Shield hits 3 big heroes in the back along with Wailing Arrow. Here comes the Dragon Blade by Aishitiru. Gets a reset on the Surmaka. JTR goes down. Lincoln Park goes down. The team fight just not quite able to be picked up, and I think play again was a big part of that as Aishiteru gets counter killed.
Woohoo, Shifu showing that, hey, we may be down, but we're not out. I love that. And Divine Storm being just fat-fingered. What was that?
I think he tried to get him at the very edge of the range, but it didn't quite work. His Coldam's flight up, it is, so he'll be able to interrupt this curse pickup if he can get over there in time, as here he goes.
Ooh, but play again is going to be popped, and that's going to be Coldam being collapsed upon by the Vikings. And, I mean, Vikings win this particular little combination, and Elrond's going to have to pour it up to the top lane, and that's going to be where they're bullied away.
Yeah, I think the multi-global there absolutely saved Misfit Island. Shifu actually goes in and dives onto Elrond to at least interrupt the tribute as the Misplaced Ults are starting to resurrect, but it won't be in time. So a new first tribute goes over to Misfit Island.
Yeah, I think that core call was just a little bit too ballsy at this point. It just wasn't really going to be had. Vikings are going to go ahead and get some more map controls. They're using their bribe stacks in that bruiser camp. And I think at this point, it's all about that next curse.
Indeed. Indeed it will be. Misfit Island has to play really, really well from here to make sure they don't give this tribute over to Misplaced Ults, as that could be just catastrophic. Multiple keeps could go down. Really bad scenario. But on the same time, we have to see how good the team fighting power is of JTR on these Vikings. They've got to be able to swing this fight and make sure it's a 5v5 instead of a 4v5 with a bunch of reset targets for Genji.
Absolutely, and they do have Large and In Charge picked up by JTR. That's that stun on Olaf, and that's a huge amount of CC that's going to be able to come out as well when you pair that with Expulsion Zone. So a lot of ability to lock down that Genji and potentially knock him out when he's in the middle of his Dragon Blade. And with ultimately the Divine Storm being picked up instead of Shield, that's a choice that they're gonna have to make. And we've got a Gust blown early, trying to save this mid fort, but I mean, this tribute's spawning here, and now we've got Divine Shield down. Flail coming out as well is going to zone everybody out. Smiley taking a bunch of damage